So today, Caitlin Clark has been talked about quite a lot in the media in general. It was not really about the Rookie of the Year talk today. It was just about Caitlin Clark more in general because, again, Angel Reese she had a really good game. Caitlin Clark had a historically great game. Before we get on to things, if you guys aren't new to the channel, subscribe. Thank you guys for 20.1k. If we get somehow 20.2k by the end of the day, that would be incredible. But anyway, now let's talk about this. So, I cannot believe I'm going to say that the two people talking the most sense today were Paul Pierce and Colin Cowherd. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. And heck, even Skip Bayless didn't say anything ridiculous today. Even Skip Bayless didn't say anything ridiculous. And he is pretending to watch every game Caitlin Clark plays. He's pretending to watch basketball. He's pretending to watch the games. But, yeah. And this was obviously my reaction after the last thing that Skip Bayless said about Caitlin Clark and the WNBA. But what Paul Pierce said, I think, was true. Paul Pierce basically was talking about how Team USA screwed up. And how they genuinely just how they screwed up. How it was like, this is a blown opportunity. And it wasn't like, oh, you don't, like, not to bring Caitlin Clark. It was also bringing Angel Reese. And, like, they blew it up. They blew it. And then also just talking about, like, how are they not brought Caitlin Clark's Nike after the whole Jaylen Brown situation. The Jaylen Brown situation is crazy. That is crazy. Like, the likelihood of him going at Nike and not being brought is high, considering they brought Derek White. Either way, it is what it is for that. But anyway, with when it comes to these guys, when it comes to these players, and when it comes to, like, Paul Pierce and the likes, like, Paul Pierce he even made, like, a basketball argument. He's just like, because Keyshawn and Skip were like, oh, but, like, they went for vets and, you know, Caitlin Clark's not ready for the Olympics. And he's just like, what do you mean? They're breaking WNBA records. Like, they're not breaking rookie records. They're doing things that no one's ever done in the league before. They're doing, like, Angel Reese is going to set the all-time record in rebounds. Caitlin Clark's going to set the all-time record in assists for a season. They're both rookies. Like, it's mad. It's absolutely mad. And obviously, Caitlin Clark's not going to break the all-time assists per game record because that was set in the damn bubble. But she's going to set the all-time record in assists, while Angel Reese is going to set the all-time record in points. They both should be on that plane. Both of them should be. They should not have announced the team that early. They should not have announced it that early. They should have done what? They should have genuinely said from the camp, we are going to have, this is our provisional team. They should have said from the camp in April, they should have had a provisional roster, which would have included the likes of Chelsea Gray. You would have had Caitlin Clark on that. You would have had Bree Jones in the provisional roster. You would have had Ryan Howard, Ariel Atkins. You should have had Angel Reese in the provisional roster. But to be fair, they probably didn't even realize how good Angel Reese was going to be. And even still, after 3 or 4 games, they should have made a big announcement. They still should have been 17 players, had a big announcement being like, Angel Reese has made our provisional roster. So that Angel Reese is there, and it's like, we are going to be picking from these players based on the camps and how they play this season. And they should be only announcing the team, what is it, it's the 11th of July? Maybe 10 days ago. 1st of July, the team should have been announced. Not early June. Not really early June. The team should have been announced on the 1st of July, and both Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese's names should have been there. They should have been there. And the fact that Diana Taurasi's injured right now. Taurasi's injured. You've got Fee Collier, who's injured. Chelsea Gray is injured. Like, if the USA team's probably not going to lose, but if they were ever going to lose, it's going to be this team. Belgium have Messeman. Belgium have Van Loo, who can go, we've seen can go toe-to-toe with any. Honestly, Van Loo will be the starting point guard in this USA team right now. Maybe not, because Sabrina out position is better than Van Loo. Either way, she would be getting burned for that team right now. So, like, Belgium are a threat. Like, USA in full force barely beat Belgium last year. So, there's no guarantee they beat Belgium. Australia have a good team. Australia have Wickham. Australia have Becca Allen. Australia have Mag Bagor, who is going to just be, again, a dominant force inside. And again, if Griner has any sort of issues health-wise, they're going to struggle to deal with Ezzy. You've got the dog, Christy Wallace. The dog herself is on that team. So Australia are going to be tough. I don't know what the story is with the Sabali sisters for Germany. They could be. I don't think so, but they could be a tough team. They could be a tough out for any team, to be honest. But at the same time, we are looking at a USA team that would not only benefit from eyes, they would benefit on the floor from them. And you're seeing like Paul Pierce. It's hard to argue that. It's hard to argue that. And look, you could argue at the time when it was picked that they weren't, like, they were bringing the 12 best players. I argued at the time they weren't, because they brought Taurasi and they brought an injured Chelsea Gray. And whatever about Taurasi, bringing injured Chelsea Gray was not the move. Bringing 5 of the same player in Jewel Lloyd, Kelsey Plum, Jackie Young. So, to be fair, actually, not really. Jewel Lloyd, Kelsey Plum, Jackie Young. Like, bringing 5 players to play the same position in Jewel Lloyd, Diana Taurasi, Kat Copper, Jackie Young, Sabrina Ionescu, and Diana Taurasi. Half of your team play the same position. It's going to be tough for the US. And genuinely, I think if you replaced Kelsey Plum or Jewel Lloyd, because Jewel Lloyd's just a weird one. One game she looks like the best player in the NBA or in the WNBA. The next game she looks terrible. It's just there's a thing with Jewel. Jewel Lloyd frustrates me because, one, she looks like a superstar every time she plays the Fever, and two, she's either the best player on the floor or losing you a game. There's no in between when it comes to Jewel Lloyd. So she is her spot in that team, fair enough. But it's like you're Jewel Lloyd, getting rid of one of Jewel Lloyd, Kelsey Plum, or Kat Copper. You would probably get rid of Jewel Lloyd in that scenario, to be honest. You're gonna keep Kat Copper based on how she's played, because Jewel Lloyd doesn't really offer anything shooting the ball, which is more important with FIBA rules. So if you replaced Jewel Lloyd and Chelsea Gray, and you want to keep Chelsea Gray, if you replace Jewel Lloyd and Taurasi with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, the team would be better. There'd be more eyes on it, and they would have a better chance of winning, even though they're almost certainly going to win anyway. But when you're looking at a team that's not well constructed, a team that is carrying injuries, and the 3 players that are injured, well, 2 of the players that are carrying injuries in Fee Collier and what's her name, and Chelsea Gray. Chelsea Gray's your only point guard. You're going there with one point guard who's injured. You're going there with like Fee Collier's one of your like 3rd or 4th best player who's injured. So it's going to be really, really tough for, you know what, if they can win the Olympics comfortably, fair play to them, they're just the damn best. But I still to this day think that Paul Pierce might be on the money with bringing Caitlin Clark and also bringing Angel Reese. I think the 2 of them are deserving. I think the 2 of them are completely, completely deserving based on how they've been playing this season. Especially because the way the rules are, just the way FIBA basketball's played, there's no defensive 3 seconds in the rule or key. There's no defensive 3 seconds in the key rule. I'm not even sure if there is in the WNBA. I don't even think I remember it ever being called in the WNBA if there is. But the way the rebounding, and it's like if you're having the only way Team USA lose is if they're having a bad day, if they're having a bad shooting day. And having Angel Reese on the floor nullifies the negatives of having a bad shooting day. Both of them should have been brought.